What a time we've had the last 2 years. And just as we're beginning to settle down and get back to some normalcy in life, things begin to surge again. And with the surging of COVID, what we have clearly seen is a surging of emotions, a surging of anxieties, a surging of stresses like, oh no, here we go again. I can't go through this again. And suddenly we are finding that more and more people are becoming accustomed to sleepless nights. We're concerned because school is starting back. And what does this mean for our children? And what does this mean as we now are still gathered in big places with lots of people? And what does it mean? It's about killed our economy in the past. Can we take another blow? We're worried about that. We're worried about so many things, and many people still very worried about getting sick, actually, or someone they love getting sick. The bottom line is it's perilous times, and we're being plagued with all kinds of stresses and anxieties, things that prohibit us from resting. Our soul isn't resting. Our emotions are not resting. Our brain is not resting. Therefore, our body is not resting. And it's showing up in every part of our lives. If we look at this and we preach the way that the older churches did, we would probably say, so the solution today is we've got to learn to rest in His shadow. He promised His shadow would be a refuge for you and protect you. And then we'd give an altar call and say, so how many people want to rest in the shelter of the Almighty today? And everybody would come forth, and we'd send everybody home, and everybody would go home going, okay, that was wonderful. And nobody would say it out loud, but many would be thinking, so what does that literally mean, though? Because if I tell you, here's the solution. You need to rest in the shadow of the Almighty, and you will find refuge there, and you will find rest there. Nobody would disagree with that, but more people than not would say, but I'm not sure how to do that because I don't know what that means. It sounds like it's just a concept to me. And of course, in reality, it is a concept, and it's figurative, and it's spiritual, and it's prophetic. And if I just tell you, you need to learn how to rest in the shadow of the Almighty, while you would agree with that, it may not help you. And so I've thought a lot about that, because the reality is there's a lot of mystery to God's Word. It's very spiritual. It's very prophetic. And some of these things are almost tailored per individual, where I, as an individual, I have had to learn on my journey how to rest in the refuge of the Almighty. I've had to learn what it means for me to be under His wings. And every individual is held accountable to do that for themselves. But we also know that not every individual knows how to take that journey, at least up front. So what preaching is supposed to be for is to try to help tangibilize the spiritual words of God. It's to take something that sounds good and sounds right, but we don't know how to put it in our hands and use it, and to make it usable. And that's what we've done for 27 years at Cornerstone Family Church. And so what I want to help you do today is I want you to understand, without you becoming religious about it. You know how we get religious about things, okay, A, B, C, D, I've done this, and we get all legalistic about it. Without you becoming legalistic, I want to talk again about things that we've talked about many times through the years that literally equates to living in the shadow of God, living under the canopy of His outstretched wings. There, it's interesting with the mercy seat, the cover, the lid of the Ark of the Covenant as the two cherubim with outstretched wings. And we see that underneath the wings was the very presence, the Shekinah, the glory of God. And how we see so many pictures that there's a canopy of God. It's a refuge place. And if we can learn to dwell there while the world is freaking out and falling apart, God's people will be resting. And when we are rested, it means now we're focused. We've got our eye on the ball. We're not just trying to survive like the world. We're actually the people taking advantage of the perilous times. We're bringing in the harvest for God. We're focused on ministry instead of focused on ourselves and delivering ourselves through perilous times. We're rested so we see the bigger picture. Now we're helping deliver other people.